Good evening, everyone. Hello. Hi. Welcome to Willingness Wednesday. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. I am your coach, BVon Squires, and today we are sponsored by Spirit Source Connection. I have been waiting for this day all week. I have been so excited. I just couldn't wait to get here. Just so excited, and even now I'm just bursting at the seams. I can't wait to get in here and tell you guys all about today's message. Okay, so before I go any further, I want to say welcome. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you hear something that's going to encourage you, something that's going to resonate with you, and make you want to come back again and spend next Wednesday with us right here at the same time, 7:15 p.m. And if you are returning, I want to say thank you so much for your love and support. You know, I could not do this without you. I'm so grateful that you come back each week to support me. You know, it makes me feel really, really wonderful to know that I'm actually bringing information that you can use. And today I am excited mostly because I have an actual personal experience to share with you today. I really, really like it when I can come here and be transparent because I want you to know that I'm a real person. I don't just talk about these concepts. I don't just, come here and bring you information about these principles and talk about what it can do. I actually apply these concepts and principles to my life. This is how I actually live. And before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know that tonight is going to be a little personal because I want to be able to show you exactly how I applied the habits of 1, 2, and 3 for my personal victory, which we learned about habits 1, 2, and 3 in our last segment, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of a Highly Effective People. And so habit 1, of course, is being proactive. Habit 2 is beginning with the end in mind. And habit 3 is putting first things first. However, what we're talking about today is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is what our topic is tonight, and it's called self-motivation. You got to be able to motivate yourself, right? Who can motivate you better than you can motivate yourself? However, there is a little caveat here I want to tell you about. In order to motivate yourself, you have to know yourself. Woo, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the very first component of emotional intelligence. The reason that self-awareness is so important is because you need to know what your mood is. What mood are you in? And how is that mood affecting you, others around you, and your personal relationships, right? We get to find out who we are in this process. And then, of course, the second component of emotional intelligence is managing your emotions. We want to be able to manage those emotions and not react in those emotions. But we also know that we have the neocortex, which is on the left side of our brain, which helps us to actually identify the mood that we're having. And then, of course, we have, conversely, the amygdala. Woo, that amygdala, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get into today's segment because I need to tell you how this amygdala hijacked my emotions. Yes, hijacked my emotions and had me in denial. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to tell you all about it. But I do want to let you know, if any of this sounds unfamiliar, that's okay, because you're not going to hear regular conversation here, things that you're going to learn in school or things you're going to talk about at the dinner table. No, that you have to come here for those kinds of topics. You have to come here for that kind of information that can help you grow, right? Help you move forward, but also broaden you out and make you more comprehensive as an individual. All right, so that's just giving you a little foundation about what tonight's message is going to be and what you can expect for tonight, okay? So we're going to just jump on in here. So it was very interesting. I had been feeling, I wasn't really sure exactly how I was feeling. Some kind of way. I was feeling some kind of way, and I was like, what's going on with me? I mean, I started to feel very low in my vibration. I was feeling lethargic. I was feeling kind of depressed. I was feeling, low self-worth. And I was like, what the heck is that all about? That's not who I am. My vibrations vibrate on a high level. I am always looking for solutions. I am a proactive, highly effective individual. And so operating in low vibration is just not that is not my norm. And so when I find myself in that place, I know something is amiss. Something is going on. And so I tried my meditation, I tried my affirmations, I was doing my mind treatments. At night, I program my subconscious at night because number one, it strengthens the neocortex. Number two, if you're not programming your mind, then who is programming your mind? And so these are things that I do for myself on a daily basis so that I can maintain a vibrational frequency that is conducive to my joy, conducive to my happiness, conducive to achieving goals and that sort of thing, right? So I was doing all this and still I couldn't seem to break free of this place I was in. It was like an emotional pit. And I was like, I didn't know how I got there. How did I get there? And so you guys know me. I like to pray and I like to meditate. I am connected to the God of the universe in a very special way. I have developed a wonderful relationship with him. And I know that when things are going on in my life, I have to realize that number one, I have a large water content. We all do. So when there's a full moon, of course, it's going to affect our feelings. Because we are spiritual beings, okay, when things are going on around in the spiritual realm, they're going to affect us, right? And so what I need you to help you understand here is you need to have a connection to the spiritual realm. You have to, because that way you're able to withstand the storms that come your way without having to actually react to the way you're feeling. This is what I experienced this week because I was able to go to God and say, I don't know what's going on here, and he gave me this analogy, which is so cool. I love analogies and I love when he gives me these analogies, but God gave me an analogy like I have to go back to the factory. I have to go back to my maker. I have to go back so he can troubleshoot and find out what's going on with my unit. You know what I mean? Because I am a product of the Most High. I am a product of the Creator. So I take myself back to him so he can tighten up those screws, and find out what those moods are, straighten those things that may be a little crooked and bent, like my perspective. When I need my perspective checked, when I need to a standard to check myself by, I use God, who is the God of the universe. I use him as my standard because God has already told me who I am, right? I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm highly effective. I'm proactive. I'm all of these things. But see, what God was also showing me is that when I find myself in traumatic situations, that's like post-traumatic stress disorder. That is a real thing, right? It can happen from childhood stress. It can happen from things we've witnessed. It can happen from things that didn't actually happen to us, but things that we have witnessed happen to other people. So I have to help you understand here that amygdala, the amygdala is what gets activated when we have these charged emotions. And childhood trauma can bring about charged emotions. And so little did I know I was triggered. My amygdala was triggered due to childhood trauma, right? And so because my amygdala is triggered, I'm living in my subconscious mind, which already operates 95% of my life. And so, of course, I'm in denial because the amygdala and the subconscious mind, they work together. They work together to help me look good, sound good, feel good. They work together to keep me out of danger, to keep me out of stressful situations, right? They work together so that but the thing about it is that's not good. I'm not in reality. I am in an illusion. And so this is what was what was revealed to me this past week. I had been in an illusion. I had no idea that the amygdala had taken over me. Falling asleep at the wheel. Here I am. I'm thinking I'm on steady on the course. No, I had been hijacked, and I wake up. I come to. I'm in a cornfield someplace, all detoured, and I'm like, oh my God, how can I get back? And thank God for my connection to the source. Right? Thank God for my connection to the maker, who's able to remind me of who I am. Okay, so what I had to do, I had to remind myself who I am. I got out my resume, right? Once I realized that I had been hijacked by the amygdala and my neocortex was activated, got me out of that, broke me free from the amygdala prison, if you will. Yeah, I was able to then see, wow, you are so off track. You need to get back on your mainstream. So what I did, this is so amazing. What I did is I took out my resume and I looked at that resume and I saw all the accomplishments that I had achieved. I saw all the things that I'm capable of. And I thought, you know what? You are a badass. You are a badass with a master's degree. That's who you are. That's who you are. Sometimes we forget who we are. We forget those things that we have achieved. But I want to tell you, always remember to go back and make a withdrawal from those investments. All that time you put in, all that studying you put in, all of that is still available to you in those times where your energy feels low. Go back and revisit those things. Go back and talk to people who have seen your journey. Talk to people who know who you are so that they can remind you in the hustle and bustle of things, those auto pilot conversations that sometimes go on in the background. Sometimes we lose sight. But thank God for the people that he puts in our lives that can help us get back on track. Like me, your coach. I am your coach, and you can reach me at 317-721-4315, or you can email me at b.von.squires@gmail.com. Okay, so as we continue to move on, I want to let you know. Here's another analogy that God gave me. He gave me this analogy like an Excel book. Okay, so everybody knows what an Excel workbook is. Okay, so if you are an effective person, you know what an Excel workbook is. And if you don't, call me and we can talk all about it. Anyway, God showed me this Excel workbook. Okay, so in the Excel workbook, you have your source tab at the bottom, and then you have all the other tabs, right? The source tab is the main tab. It's the tab that feeds all the other tabs, right? This is the source, God, the source. This was so cool. I really love this analogy. So God is the source tab, and then each tab under there, you have the mind, you have the body, you have the emotions, you have the spirit. All of these tabs have their own functions, right? But together, they work together for your good. And every now and then, who knows why, but sometimes there's a glitch in the workbook. Oh my gosh, something is wrong with the workbook. So you have to go back to the source, right? It all leads back to the source. It all leads back to God. It all leads back to the creator, the maker. It all leads back to him. And what I'm really grateful to understand is how the parallel between habit 1 and self-awareness allowed me to do that private work. Woo! Do the private work, Benita. In your private time, are you praying? Are you writing down things that you wish you could change? Are you writing down your goals? Are you keeping your focus on the main thing? If you don't, then you can easily find yourself, in a proverbial cornfield off track, right? Like I did. But the beautiful thing about it is it didn't take much to get on track. When you already have a connection and you already have a personal practice, you can tell when things are going awry. I started making excuses for myself, and y'all know I don't like excuses. But I'm like, wait a minute. I know you're a recovering perfectionist and all, but you don't need to be making excuses for yourself. And so I found out that I was making excuses more than I had been. And I was like, no, that's not me. That is not me. That is not who I am. My vibration is low. I'm making poor eating choices. What is going on? And so thank God I was able to go to habit one and self-awareness so that I could see exactly what was going on and what mood it was. Is I was actually grieving. Grieving is not something that you can control. It's something that comes over you, and there's no notice. It's kind of like a chronic condition, if you will, because it just comes and goes. And one day you're feeling fine, and the next day you're grieving. And of course, you guys know I lost my mom. Oh, I didn't lose her. She went on home to heaven back in June on the 23rd. And so there's some grief that's going on. So I have to be very careful, and recognizing that I am human and that I do need self-care, and that sometimes the situations and the moods that I am in are not based on anything that I'm doing wrong or anything. There's no glitch in my actual program, just maybe because of grief or some other type of system, emotional system, because grief is actually an emotional system, because we grieve in so many ways, so many different ways, and it's different for each person. But anyway, I'm really happy that I was able to take habit two, begin with the end in mind, and remind myself what my goal is. My goal is I want to be motivated. My goal is I want to be self-motivated. And so, looking at my resume, going back and getting all that energy and bringing it forward to my current situation was an amazing experience, because then I was able to take that resume and I applied for 3 different positions. It's time for me to move up. But you know what? I was just so cozy in my comfort zone, and denial set in, and there I was, all comfy and cozy and not moving forward in the rate that I wanted to anyway. And so I was alerted to that. I was alerted to my cognitive dissonance. Benita, you're letting yourself down in your own eyes, baby. What's going on with you? I was able to ask myself that. I was able to do an inventory and take a look at myself and see, okay, what could possibly be going on? And then, of course, going to God and meditating, listen for Him to tell me, what is going on, and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and what the solution is. And then, of course, in habit 3, where you put first things first, I was actually able to motivate myself. I was able to motivate myself because I had a plan, because I said, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is clean my house. Positive action. Any kind of positive action is going to dispel all of the illusion. It's going to help you get out of denial. It's the positive actions, right? Sometimes it's all you need is a positive thinking, but there are times when positive action is required, and nothing else will do. And so I'm really grateful to be able to move into the solution with all of this great information that we've gotten over the last few weeks. I've been able to apply all of this to my life. Today, I feel wonderful. I feel productive. I feel responsible. I feel highly effective. And I want you to feel highly effective too. So I hope that there's something that I said tonight that resonated with you, to let you know that yes, we do go through things. We all do. Just not everyone has the courage to talk about it. Not everyone has the courage to reach out. But let me tell you, I am here to help you get to the other side of any of the situations that you're going through. If you want to be proactive, if you want to learn how to manage your emotions, if you want to be the kind of person that is highly effective and proactive and all of those sorts of things, well, you just give me a call and we can work on that together. Okay. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me tonight. Sorry to be so long-winded. I just had so much to share with you, and I was just bubbling over. And thank you so much for allowing me to just share all of this with you tonight. Now, of course, I'm going to look forward to seeing you next week, the same time, same place. And in the meantime, I'm going to pray and ask God to bless you real good. And I just know that if you stay positive and if you are doing your affirmations and manifesting all those wonderful things, they are on their way to you now. You are healthy, you are prosperous, you are blessed. beyond measure. And I'm so happy to be your coach. I'll see you next week on Willingness Wednesday. Good night.